hard to quantify though, right? Because like my life fucking sucks. I hate my job. I'm not getting along with my wife or my husband. It's really difficult to get myself out of bed every morning. But when I go and buy a pair of sneakers for that week, I'm great.
That's the most dangerous.
How come?
Right? Because you're using something material to make yourself better about an emotional or social situation, right? It's the same thing as eating when you feel bad, right?
Which I definitely do.
You're using a crutch to make yourself feel better. That means you start becoming dependent on it, and then it becomes a difficult because you're not actually addressing the real issues.
And I guess the important framing there is, it's not that buying shit is bad. It's not that you can't treat yourself sometimes. And it's not that if you're feeling like you had a crap day, you can't go buy a handbag. It's not that. You can if you want to, but you should be conscious of the reasons why. And if you are well aware that, look, I've had a bad day, I need to feel better, and I know this is just a way to solve it right now, SALVE, but I like need to work on this shit as well, then it's fine. Like go do your thing, right?
I think it's fine, but I would still, if you've consciously already realized that, I'd say, well, why not try and do something to help the actual situation first so that you don't develop a dependency on this other thing that suits you.
And then if you make progress there, then reward yourself with the handbag.
I mean, I would try not to link it like that because you're trying to de-link those two things, right? But at least you're telling yourself, I'm the sort of person who works through my stuff first, and only when I'm feeling at a better level is when I would go do other things like shopping or whatever makes you happy in a different
way. Is it really that bad? Isn't it quite typical human behavior?
It's very typical, but
typical doesn't mean good.
Exactly. It's very typical, and people often don't see the link. They'll be like, I was in such a bad mood, so I just came home and gamed all night, right? I was in such a bad mood, so I just went to the gym and like pumped weights and then, had drinks with my friends after.
But that's valuable, right?
Yeah,
like it
sounds harmless. It sounds like, okay, that's good. You did something to help yourself. But then what about I sat down and I thought through why I was feeling so upset, and I realized that these were the emotions that were there, right? And so I decided maybe this is what I need to do about it, or this is how I'm going to think about it moving forward. That part is often missed, and that's the dangerous part.
Yeah, so it's maybe not specifically an issue with, I've had a bad day, I'm going to go lift weights and then go drinking with my friends, or I had a bad day and I'm going to go eat way too much food and then go online and buy some stuff. It's sure you can do that, and you should also try and figure out what's going on and process that stuff. So
or even just be really honest with yourself and say, I'm not quite at the point yet where I can address the situation directly, and therefore I'm going to use this little crutch for a little while just to calm my nervous system down a bit. And then I'm going to try my best to actually address it.
Yeah, I feel like for me that's acceptable. I don't want to feel like I can't fucking let loose when I want to let loose, right? It's not like you're restricting me, but I'm just saying, like, for someone listening to this, it's like it's not like we're all human and we all do this. We all have a version of this,
myself
right?
included.
Yeah. So then it's about being aware of the pattern and being real enough with yourself to, like you just said, this is a crutch that I'm using right now because I don't have it in me to process the thing I actually should be processing. I'm gonna use this to help me feel better. And then I'm going to find a time to work on that stuff. Yeah, this just happened to me because I had that event last night to go for. And then after that, when I was done, I went to eat dinner by myself because I love doing that. And I went to eat somewhere nice. And I texted my father when I was there, basically saying that this is one of the things that I learned from you, that when you've had a bit of a rough day, you can still save the day if you have a good meal. And if you have a good meal and you also get time to just be by yourself to think, then it's a win. And I guess maybe the learning from that is if you go eat the good food or buy the thing, or you go to the gym, and as you're doing that thing to help you sort of like calm your system down and like get rid of some of the stress, maybe you can be processing it then. Maybe you can be thinking about it then, because you feel it's easier to think about it when you're like active and doing something else, and then your mind can kind of go and be real. Maybe that was my experience last night of doing that. And by the time I finished my long walk all the way home, I felt much better. Yeah, I think it's the where we landed there with how you frame it, which is just be real with yourself that you're doing this now to help yourself feel better and to help yourself calm down, because it's, you know, been really stressful dealing with XYZ. But this is not the same as processing it. So once I calm down, I need to do some of that as well. I think that's a great place to land. But you did mention maybe like 5 minutes ago that it is also important to de-link the reward or the handbag or the good meal or the pair of sneakers from a thing that you do, a difficult thing that
what
you
you do want to couple it with is I worked on trying to understand how I felt, and then I actually felt better. I felt the emotions like moving or shifting, or I felt better within myself, or I felt better because I spoke to my partner about it. So you do want to link that there's benefit from doing it.
Okay, so if we make this super practical, you have a guy who has a stressful job, who's got a colleague who's just kind of a dick, and he is carrying around all this tension because he has to deal with this guy all the time, and there's something that he needs to push back on, and he's just avoiding it because it's just been a long day. So he goes, I need to just like go have a few beers and just like eat some really stimulating food. And so he goes and does that, and then instead of doing that, he should,
when he's feeling upset and annoyed at his colleague, say to himself, hey man, I get it. Like, I understand you're frustrated. There's a lot of reasons to be frustrated with him, right? Given your background and some of the situations that have happened to you in life, it makes sense that you feel this way towards him. Do you feel like you can handle that right now, thinking about what you can do? And then the answer is, no, I can't. Like, okay, fine, you can't do it now. So
take some space,
but come back to this. Why don't you write it down so you can deal with it later? Write it down.
Put it in your calendar for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so now I've gone and done the self-soothing thing of eating the good meal and, you know, having too many drinks. Now, next morning, with my morning coffee, I see the thing that I wrote down. I'm like, okay, I need to process this now. Then it's just walking through the motions of figuring out what you're going to say to
yeah,
that
like,
person.
why do I feel so upset with him? What is it that makes his behavior so frustrating or upsetting to me? Can I actually do something about it or say something to him? How should I say it and do it? And
let's just say, for the sake of this example, he goes and he does it, and he actually has a pretty good conversation with the guy, and the guy says, look, I know sometimes I can be too intense. I'm sorry that it affected you that way. I'm going to try and be better. No promises, but blah, 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 blah. It goes pretty well. Then
I think after that, you note to self, this went really well. Next time I don't need to be so afraid of doing something, because it often does turn out pretty well.
And then go eat the good meal. So you get 2 good meals. Then you can go drinking again. So that's like a realistic scenario. In an ideal scenario, you get better and better at just facing the thing that you're avoiding. And so instead of jumping straight to the behavior that just soothes and makes you feel more comfortable in the now, you make the choice to sit in the muck a little bit and figure out, no, I need to figure this out for myself. If not, I'm not going to sleep so well. And I need to practice the skill of just facing it. So then you have the conversation then that evening, and you go through the same process, and then you get to that point with him, hypothetically. And then you go, okay, well done. That's a little bit more invested in the bank of I'm learning to face my stuff and learning to draw better boundaries and learning to not run away from my problems.
And you show yourself that, oh, maybe some of the things I thought I couldn't do, I can do now. And maybe the amount of time that I need to take in between, it gets less and less. And I'm proud of myself for being able to do that. And my relationship with myself feels better because I'm not running away from things anymore. And I think what you have to keep consistently telling yourself is all the reasons why addressing this is going to be a good thing, right? If there's not enough benefit in your head, then it's easy to just run away, right? So you have to be able to say to yourself, if I do this, I will feel connected to myself. I will trust myself more. I will know that when something's important, I actually can do something about it, right? When emotions come up, they're actually not as scary as I thought they would be. They're actually much more manageable than I thought, right? Yeah, they sometimes feel quite a lot in the moment, but after I actually learn how to sit with them, it just becomes a friend that you know better, right? When it's scary to sit with someone you don't know at all, but then as you talk to them, you feel more comfortable with them, and then you're okay with them being a little moody looking.